at the Akumpak. And for Medeama and Nebosha, they would not be happy because they saw this as an opportunity for them to get all 3 points. My name is Mutale Yakubu, still watching Max TV and Start Times at the channel 247. This is the Ghana Premier League. Round 1 is done, and we'll be moving on to round 2 at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, where Asante Kotoko will be taking on Nations FC at 6 p.m. But let's go through the full-time statistics for this game. Possession was even as both teams had 50%. 5 shots on target for Medeama to Dreams FC's 4, and 7 corners went the way of Medeama, with Dreams having just 2. Dreams were flagged offside twice and Medeama were flagged once. 21 fouls committed by the home side and Dreams committed 22. 2 yellow cards also went against Dreams FC and 1 against Medeama. No red cards, but the most important statistics in football is the scoreline, and they ended barren. So both teams will be leaving the Akumpak with a point. Still in the company of Nanedu and, of course, Josiah Okokwe. Josiah, not what we expected. We wanted to see goals in this one. It was promising, but in the end, well, for the neutrals, they will say it's disappointing, but for Dreams, they would be extremely delighted.
Yeah, Mutala, I think it was identical halves we saw. First half, just similar to the second half. Nothing really changed. Neither of the teams up the tempo. It looked like, just like you said, Dreams will be okay with at least a point, because in the reverse fixture, they won by 2-1. So out of 6 points, they've picked up, 4. And Medeama just left with 1. And, you look at how both teams set up, and Mutala, you'll be thinking, after seeing the respective, lineups of both teams, I was like, we could be in for something spectacular this afternoon. But then, sometimes that's how football is. Sometimes what you want is not what you get. And it's for Dreams FC, they would have felt it's okay to pick up a point away at such a very, very difficult ground. This is the grounds that they visited last season. It didn't really go on well for them. But then for Medeama, I believe they are beginning to lose something as a club. That fear factor, that kind of urgency, and desire they play with last season at the Akumpak. This season, we are not seeing that there. And I believe that's one of the reasons why they've not really, turned things around. And this season, you could also attest to the fact that they had to play some of their home games in Kumasi in the Continental Cup. If they had kept everything at just, the same grounds, it could have been, dangerous, because in Kumasi, they were able to beat Belouizdad. So you can't play on different grounds and expect to be consistent whenever you choose to play at home. But then I believe it's not bad, from a neutral perspective, because both of these teams did Ghana proud when they played in Africa. But then for this afternoon, Mutala, I just believe Dreams would feel okay going back to do with at least a point.
Of course, and Dreams will be happy. For Medeama, not a good one for them. They are beginning to lose something, especially with the Akumpak. It was like a slaughterhouse for most Premier League teams. But these days, seems go there with shoulder high, go grab a point, sometimes even getting all the 3 points. Not good for Medeama.
I think when we look at today's game, they missed a lot of chances, right from the first half to the second half. Medeama missed a lot of chances. Diosi Taylor, Bernardi Tete, and Elias were missing a lot of chances. They tried to make sure they will come back into the game in the second half. But also not Dreams FC so, and we saw a different Dreams FC in the second half. Initially, they even missed a clear chance, a hit a crossbar, the top of the bar. Dreams FC were close to, taking the lead at the Takwa Compact. So I think Dreams FC showed something in the second half, and Adebakwa Zito the target that he brought to Takwa, which might achieve Mubako, at least to get a draw from Takwa, is bringing that to Accra. So I think it's a good result for Dreams FC, much more than Medeama.
Good result for Dreams FC, and that has changed the form guide of Dreams FC. So this is their form in the last 5 games that they've played. They managed to beat Swataman by 2-0 before drawing 2-2 when Hartford. That game was played at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Then we also had Dreams drawing 2-2 with Samatex and Nations beating Dreams FC by 1-0. Medeama drew goalless with Dreams. This is the last game that Dreams FC have played, and as you know, they would be happy coming away from the Akumpak with a point. For Medeama, not a good one for them. Diawisi Taylor struggling. But this was a player who scored about 18 goals in the league during his time at Karela, and even emerged top scorer. He's come back to the country and he's finding things really, really difficult.
Mutala, you don't just expect Diawisi Taylor to return to, the league and all of a sudden start banging in goals. There's something we call adaptation sometimes. You know, he needs to adapt to the Medeama system. And we spoke about the fact that Jonathan Soa did him so good. Why? Because he was younger, he was energetic, you know, and he wasn't your typical number 9. He was someone who loved to, you know, involve himself in what? In the build-up. That's something J.C. Taylor doesn't have. He's a target man. He loves, you know, to be in the box. He's more like a fox in the box. So these are two different profiles, you know, of players we are talking about. Medeama learned to play according to Jonathan Soa's strength. So whenever they played, the likes of Fojo, the likes of Bernardino Satete, you know, these were players who could, you know, complement the strength of Jonathan Soa. But then you ask yourself, how many minutes has J.C. Taylor played already for Medeama? It will take time for him to what? To just adapt to the way Medeama play. I wouldn't fault him. You could see he's a bit rusty. And, you know, even off the cameras, we were talking about his confidence, which looks to have been shattered. And every striker needs that confidence to get in the goals. You know, to bang, if you need to bang, or if you want to bang in the goals as a striker, but you have to be confident. We've seen strikers, you know, even miss from close range and all that, open net and all that. Why? Because they lack the confidence. So for J.C. Taylor, it will take some time. If only the Medeama faithfuls will be patient with him, because the standards of Jonathan Soa is still there. So whoever comes in to replace him would definitely be judged by those standards. It's similar to what happened at BBN Gold Stars when Abednego Zlatan left, and they had to bring in Alex Asso. Alex Asso is not a poacher. He's a hard-working guy. He loves to press. He defends. You know, he's the first line of defense for his team and all that. But then he wouldn't give you 18, 15 goals in the season. So it took time for the BBN Gold Stars faithfuls to understand that this is not a player who is, you know, whose style of play is synonymous to that of our former striker. So we need to give him time. And, you know, recently it looks like he's beginning to pick up. So for J.C. Taylor, yes, there's pressure on him. Now, fortunately for him, or unfortunately, Medeama are not playing in Africa. Now, he has some remaining games in the league to try to settle in. It wouldn't be seamless. It will come with a lot, you know, of setbacks and all that. But then as a striker, we know, you know, how the kind of character he is. He has a big character. He knows how to score the goals. But then things have changed in the league.
Do you still see that firepower in him, that desire to chase down everything?
The league is more competitive now. When he won the Golden Boot, he would have been 6 or 7 years younger at that time. Now he's older. Yes, he's matured, but then his legs do not feel, you know, do not have that same strength they used to have some time back. That's why Medeama will have to try to play to his strength. He's not like a young Jonathan Soa who'll be chasing down every defender with the ball, who will be, you know, trying to attack and face defenders whenever he has the ball. That's not what he has. It's similar to John Aintree at Dreams FC. He knows his legs are tired now. He's not that young John Aintree we used to know some time back when he was banging in the goals. So now you try to adapt to the system. The team also try to play to your strength, and they see out, you know, they bring out your best. So for the J.C. Taylor, I believe he will come good, but then it will take time for him to set.
Now, tactically, has Medeama changed under Nebosha Copper? Do you see any difference as compared to what Ivan Sadote was doing?
When you look at what Nebosha is bringing on board to Medeama, that is a better option for them. Looking at where season is starting for Adote, doing well in Africa, competing in the Premier League. Those, you know, foreign coaches, most of the times, the best time for them to join a football club in this country is to take the team to a pre-season. You don't come in the middle of the season. Adaptation quite takes time for them to adapt to some of the style and the lifestyle of these Ghanaian players. So, Omar Adote, we a season for him to come and take over, take the team to pre-season before things start well for Medeama. That would be the best option for them. But I think the Adote time, and compared to the new coach time, is better than him. And I think they should have maintained Ivan Adote as their head coach.
You think Adote should have remained as the head coach?
Obviously, when you look at the kind of performance,
difference being said anymore.
You know, it's better than what we are seeing now.
Oh,
it's better than what we are seeing now. It's a fact. It's better than what we are seeing now. And it takes time for these coaches to adapt to our style. Yeah, players no star, no. You know, for you to even know some of these players, the way their mentality, the way they do everything, it takes time. So that would be the best option for them. Well,
Beams have earned a point in this one, and they are super excited there. So let's go back to the Akun Park and have a listen to the two managers after the game, starting with the coach of Medeama and the Nebosha Copper.